Hello, Kose. How are you today?
Hi Jenny, I'm doing great, thank you. Greetings from Japan.
Great. Welcome to Kose Rodarte, who is the man of the moment, having done well in a lot of recent races. Welcome to the Trail Runners Association of Hong Kong and China podcasts.
Thank you for having me.
So you're in Japan for the Fuji Kai this weekend.
Yes, I'm here for the Fuji
very,
race.
Yeah, that's very exciting. But before we get onto that, I'd like you to please give some brief background, if you can, on where you come from, how long you've been living in Hong Kong, and how you got into trail running in no particular order.
Sure, perfect. Well, I'm Kose. My full name is Kosuke. So Kose is the shorter form. Ko means like hikari, which means light, and it's more of like someone who brings light or happiness, something like that. It's a very nice name, but I kind of wanted to have a twist, and I've always used Kose. It sounds a little bit more Spanish. So I'm from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. I've lived in Japan and China and many different places. And I've been in Hong Kong combined for over 12 years. I'm a permanent resident. I left for a few years and came back during COVID in 2022. And that's when I started trail running. Yeah.
Wow, so you've only been trail running for a few years then?
Yeah, actually. I started trail running when I moved back to Hong Kong. If you notice, I always, even though I'm from Mexico or I have a mixed background, I always write Hong Kong as part of I represent Hong Kong. I'm very proud. I think Hong Kong has changed me a lot. I moved there when I was 18 years old, so for me it's my home. So I always thought that I am a Hong Konger, even though my Cantonese is not great, but I do my best. On the trail running side, I started running with trail running. And I started trail running because I come from an addiction background. I'm very open about it. And I think I needed a change in my life. And one day, during COVID, we couldn't really go out, we couldn't really do much. But I was living in Germany, and in Germany it was even worse. So I moved back to Hong Kong, and I thought, okay, addiction will go away when I move somewhere new, but it didn't. So one day I just started going up to High West every day, every single day, and I thought, I want to become faster. I want to get there like 5 minutes faster than yesterday, and I started doing it every day, and that kind of helped me get like a routine, and from there it just like a much better from there it just went on.
So it became a healthier form of addiction.
Yes, I think it's a healthier form of addiction. Yes, it's still an addiction though, because I think we are runners, you're a runner as well, and you know how it is. So you're always chasing that high, which is very, very similar to other type of addictions. So it's just channeling that habit into a healthier way. Oh, sorry for the people in the background. I hope you can cut that.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic to hear about. So you started trail running first, and then when did the marathon running?
Correct.
Were you just doing marathon running to help your trail running, or was that like a separate parallel track?
I think so. When I started running, I had no structure, so I was just running like as a crazy person, like whatever I could do. If it was a half marathon, if it was a marathon, if it was an ultra marathon, for me it was a way to stay sober. So if there was a marathon coming up next weekend, I would sign up for it. Or if it was a half marathon, I would sign up for it. So I just wanted something. And while training, I decided, I just felt that I was very good on the flat. And thanks to my mom, I have very long legs, so I think I could run a little bit fast. So that's how I got so I was into trail running. Then moved to road running properly. So I was doing road running for 2023, 2024, and then seriously started doing more trail running.
Yeah, great. So I just want to talk a bit about your recent results. So I think you had some quite good results in 2023 to 2025, but not really on the podium. And then somehow early this year, you seem to have caught fire with some sensational results, I would say. So you went the Nine Dragons 50K with 90 minutes faster than your previous time in 2024, which is just amazing. And you also won the Lantau 70 and one of the King of the Hills races. You also did a 1:12 half marathon in February with Nine Dragons victory only a week later. Like, it's just mind blowing. So what's changed in the past year, do you think, that has enabled you to get such great results?
Thank you. That's a very good question, and I was trying to reflect on what has changed, and that helped me realize a lot of things. First of all, I got more structure. So I put 2 periods on my training. So I have a very defined training period for trail running and for road running. So I have divided my year in 2 seasons. So one section, summer is road running, Europe, a lot of road, and then go back to trails. I think that's it. The other one is I have a coach, so definitely that helps a lot. Getting a coach is accountability. So that helped me to not only put a structure on my training, but also help me, telling me you're going too fast, or, this is not a race anymore, you have to slow down, come on, Kose, you know that. So I think that helped me a lot. And the other one was a lifestyle change. So I think before I was doing a lot of racing, but without any plan. Like my lifestyle was the same. And I think now my lifestyle aligns a lot with my training, saying no to a lot of things that may interrupt my training. So my training has priority always. So that's how I start my day, and that's how I communicate with coworkers as well. I would say that's it.
But it's good to hear about. So who's coaching you, by the way?
John Fitzgerald from CTS Coaching. He's based in Montana. Mm-hmm. I think there's some people in Hong Kong who have him as a trainer as well, also some top runners. So yeah, I think he was recommended to me, and yeah, we've been doing quite well. I would say that I'm 80% compliant with the training, so I wouldn't say to like people always think like you do everything by the book. I'm not that type of person. I'm like, I start running and sometimes 1 hour run turns into 3 hours run, and I'm like, oops, I'm sorry, you know how it is. But I try to be 80% compliant, so.
Yeah, I kind of assumed you didn't have a coach because I saw you were doing 30K races on adjacent days recently. I think probably not a lot of coaches would be in favour of that.
Well, no, my coach. So what we do is, these are my training races. So I have an A race, and my A race is Japan, Fuji, like Mt Fuji this weekend, and everything else is supposed to be a training race. So you need to have a very good relationship with your coach. It's like a therapist, right? So he needs to understand you, they need to understand, and you need to understand them. But you also need to communicate your boundaries and your wishes. And my wish is racing. Racing for me is like what gives me the thrill of improving. So he works with me in a very good way, where he says, okay, let's use this race as a training race where we will train nutrition, or we will train how to speed up after a climb. So I know if it's a climb, even though I'm not supposed to go too fast, I know that strategically I shouldn't run for that race, because maybe I'll get tired, but I'm training. So I go up, climb up that hill, and then I will keep on running. So I try to test different things, or downhill training as well. So I know that I will do violet hills, so I'll let's just do some downhill training.
Okay, great. So the back-to-back races have been part of your training plan then. That's good. So
Yeah, they've been part of my training plan. I've been forcing it a little bit too much, but yeah.
But obviously, your recovery between those races has been exceptional. You know, you did the 50k Nine Dragons, you know, only a week after the half marathon, which obviously that's completely different terrain, and you were travelling in between as well, and probably jet lagged as well. And then you had 6 days between the King of the Hills 32k and the Lantau 70. 1 day between the 5 peaks and the King of the Hills 36k. So how do you manage to recover so well between races?
I really don't have any secret. I mean, I wish I could tell you why I can't recover quickly. For the audience here, I was thinking about it. I mean, I between the King of the Hills and the 5 peaks, I did go to sauna and ice bath and so on, but it's not really part of my routine, so I wouldn't say that that's the secret. I think I just, I don't know, since they have been part of my training block, I don't feel like I have been, maybe I just recover quickly. I don't know, sorry.
Have you been doing high volume for a long time, would you say?
Oh, that's a very good question. So I think from last year, so something that has changed from last year to this year, where I've, become a little bit better, apart from the structured training, is volume. So volume, I think I do 50% more of what I did last year. So average, I try to do at least 120k per week, maximum 160 plus climbing. So that's like a huge increase on volume training, which I do. So definitely, I think that maybe that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, I also see that you've done really well in road marathons in the past year. You did, was it 2:34 in both Copenhagen and Berlin?
Yeah.
And congratulations. Berlin was a warm year this year as well, I heard. Am I understanding what you said earlier, that you kind of avoid trails and just stick to roads and flats while you're doing marathon training?
Yes, I do. So I think I would call myself a hybrid runner. I like to do both trails and roads. And yes, I avoid hills. So it is definitely a specific training for roads that I do prior to a marathon. So if I know I will do Berlin again this year and September, so by July I already start with my training block for only speed training. So I think that kind of helps. And then something that my coach does is we try to use that momentum of the road to translate it into trails. So I try to use that fast training for trails as well. And then climbing is something you lose actually. If you don't really train climbing for a while, you lose it. I felt it. So you really need time to build up again. It's not like you're just gonna run a hill again, climb up again after a road season.
So are you planning to do Berlin again this year, did you say?
Yeah, I'm doing again Berlin. So I also run for the Berlin team, SEC Charlottenburg. So I will run Berlin again with them.
Yeah, well, let's hope you can get cooler weather and get a PB this year. Well, you got a PB already last year, right? But it was only by a few seconds.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. I really was going for a sub 2:30 and didn't make it. So hopefully this year, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can do that in cooler conditions. How warm was it last year?
It got up to 27 at some point during the day. Yeah, but Hong Kong trained me for that weather actually, so it was very good. It's a lot of the people from the Berlin team who were like top athletes, like the official marathon team, they couldn't finish the race. So I ended up being the second overall, so I was like super happy about that. Thank you, Hong Kong. Summer.
Yeah, I once did a half marathon in Ireland where they had a heat wave and people were dropping like flies. I mean, the ambulance was kept busy collecting people that had actually collapsed. and I felt fine.
Yeah.
Because the locals weren't used to the heat.
Yeah, definitely. Never train for perfect weather. That's what I've learned last year.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I've got some specific questions about the Lantau 70 because I saw you out on the course during that race. So I know you were I think maybe 6 minutes ahead at the first checkpoint, and then by Tayo that was down to 3 minutes, I think. Like, were you aware that Casey was catching up with you? And I think it was maybe 1 minute by the next checkpoint. Were you aware that he was so close behind you, and did you pass each other at any point?
Yeah, I knew Casey was behind, so I know Casey, you know, we're both in the same Joint Dynamics running team, so he's a very good climber. So after Tayo, he was ahead of me, actually. He started going really fast, and I was not able to keep up. But as soon as the downhill came, I was trying to stick with him. We were kind of together for some time, and then I decided to try my luck and go faster. But he was very, very close throughout the race, so I knew he was behind me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then once you got to the catchwater with your marathon legs, did you feel like you had it in the bag once you got to the catchwater just ahead of him?
I would say that yes. I mean, I felt very confident that I could push, because I was checking my speed, and I was always checking if he was behind me, and he was not. So I was like, okay, probably I do, but I don't want to, you know, you never know on a race. So you never know if he was going to catch up later and during the race. And I knew that we still had like a last climb, which was, it's not hard, but you know, after it's the end. So I actually wanted to quit in Tayo. I started having pain. I had an injury in December, and it started flaring up. And Nikki Han from the team, she was like, no, you are not quitting. Next one is road, it's flat, you can do it, this is your strength. And I was like, okay, yes. And I don't know what, just, you know, something kicked in, and I was like, and yeah, then I didn't see Casey, but yeah, he was a very good battle and very good competition.
Yeah, it was great to follow the two of you on the course. It was a good contest indeed. And also the King of the Hills race, the one where you came second, you finished 90 seconds behind Wong Ho Chung. There's no shame in finishing second to him, of course. So were you two passing each other on the course as well?
No, I think I've never raced with him before, but from what I see, he was very strategic, and you know, he's very strong, obviously. So he started slower, and I was alone the whole course, and actually I already thought I was going to win, because it was only 5K before the finish line where I saw him, and I didn't have the energy to push the way he was pushing. And I tried, and it was hard. It became hard, but I was very, very close to him, and then in the last downhill he just went ahead. But it was a great learning to see him that close and to see how he runs. So when I have someone stronger than me like that, I always like to observe how they move their feet, how they go down, how they go up, because there's all these little things that you realize that very good runners do, like instead of climbing up or like power hiking, because it's a small climb, they will just, run it or climb it or walk or take the other side. So it was fun to see him.
Yeah, I was trying to pick up some tips from you when you flew past me on the King of the Hills when you were doing the long course that kept rejoining the shorter course. Went past me twice, but you were going too fast for me to actually take any notes.
Yeah, I remember seeing you. Yeah, I saw a couple of people.
I was trying to draft you, but yeah, without success.
Yeah, that happens, but yeah, it's important to see other runners. I think we always learn from that's part of the community, right? Everyone has it, and not everything works for everyone. You know, everyone has a different style. So,
Oh, sure.
yeah, people sometimes like power hike, or like I have long legs, so I climb 2 steps or 3 steps at a time sometimes. I don't know if it's efficient or not, so for me it works. So I power hike 2 steps at a time. Then I feel like I go faster. So could be.
Yeah, definitely different things work for different people. I'm sure that I couldn't do many steps if I without collapsing if I did 2 at a time. Anyway, so you're in Japan ahead of the Fuji race on, is it Saturday or is it
Yes.
Sunday for the Kai?
Saturday for the Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I hear you've been doing some training on course, and so how's that been so far? What are your impressions of the course?
I think I downplayed the Japanese trails very much. I thought I was ready. Actually, they are first of all, they're beautiful. Like it's honestly really breathtaking. They are a bit slippery. Like the ground is very soft. Everything is so soft that it becomes hard to run. You know, this type of ground that is kind of loose, but not loose gravel like the ones in Italy or in Spain with rocks. So it's just like so soft that I actually slipped a couple of times, and I realized, okay, I think I need to really learn how to go downhill here. Usually downhill is my strength. I kind of tend to fly downhill and make up for the time that I lose uphill, but this time was kind of like a different game. Fortunately, I was training with Yuri, this Japanese runner from Japan, and she was showing me the trails, and it was very good to see and learn her technique as well. I won't change my technique much, but at least I know the course, and I think that's the most important. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Now I see that part of your surname is Nakajima. I assume that means you have some Japanese family background. Does that make the race more special to you, do you think?
Yes, actually, I think it's special because I've never run in Japan before, first of all. Second, I came here after 8 years, so I haven't been here. I've been to Japan in Osaka, but never to this area for 8 years. So like seeing family and people I know, they will come to the race as well and support me. It's also very special. Yeah, so the name is more like my grandmother's name, so I think it's someone who's very special to me. I learned the language later in life, so for example, my dad doesn't speak very good Japanese. I think my Japanese is better than his Japanese, so it's more of a distant family now, but it makes it very special to be here and run in the Japanese trails and compete with Japanese runners as well, which is very inspiring. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how long did you live in Japan for then?
I think overall I lived for 4 years when I was younger, so I moved here in 2005. I was living here in 2005 and again in 2017. Mm-hmm. So I lived in the 2 areas of Japan. Mm-hmm.
The fact you can speak Japanese, that should add an extra dimension to racing there, because you'll be able to make small talk with other runners while you're going around the course and people in aid stations and things. So.
Yeah, so far it's been great. So I can communicate here with people and locals, and you know, even with the runners, the Japanese runners as well. Not all of them speak very good English, but we speak in Japanese, and of course I forgot a lot of things, but it's still there, so I'm able to communicate. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brilliant. Do you have any goals for the race that you'd like to share, or are you keeping that one to yourself? I would be happy. So my goals and races are always very ambitious and are always sometimes people think I'm delusional, but sometimes I set my goals very high, but I'd rather set them high and fail, than setting them very low. I think I still yet have to find a balance between like what is realistic and what is not. Sometimes I aim super high. That happened last year in Lavaredo, where I was aiming really, really high.
for something that I was not ready for, 120K, and it was my first DNF. I think for me, my goal would be to give the best performance I can. That's my goal, and really enjoy the course. Something that I rarely do is enjoy the course, which is I always go super fast. I don't pay attention to my surroundings, and I don't see that mountain or that lake. And this time I'll try to take some time, take a breath, and enjoy the course, and really follow my mantra. For every single race I do, I pick a mantra that I use, and the ones for this season has been trust, believe, and execute. Trust in yourself, because it's something that always happens to me is that I don't believe that I can do it. Believe. So I think trust and believe are very similar, but they are not. So believe that you are able to achieve it. So trust in yourself. Believe that you can achieve it. Trust is also trust your training. Have confidence that you've done the best. And then execute is a new part of my mantra, which is according to plan. So I repeat these 3 words throughout the race over and over and over and over. So my goal will be to really follow my mantra this time, because sometimes it's not always the case. Sometimes I get too anxious and I'm like, try to go faster. So I'll try to execute. So execute. That's my goal. Believe, trust, and execute for this race.
Fantastic. They sound like really good mantras, and I'll try and remember those myself.
Yeah.
So you're instantly recognizable at races thanks to your colourful, glittery makeup.
Yeah.
So, which is always makes people feel cheerful when they see you, I think. How long have you been doing that for races, and is there any particular reason that you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for noticing. And I think I haven't been doing it for long. I think, since last summer in Berlin I started. I still have to refine the brand because the glitter with the trails kind of like falls. With trails in Hong Kong, it's really hard to keep it. But in road races, it lasts. I think one of the reasons is I like to. I'm a queer athlete, and I think I always want to be colorful and represent the gay community as well. But I'm not the type of guy that likes to wear the gay flag. I'm not that type of person. And just for me to bring a little bit of fun and playfulness to the community, and as well to stand out and say, hey, that guy looks very gay. Yes, I am gay. Like I do my nails, I put on glitter, and I want people to know, and I'm very open about it as well. And I think slowly I'm trying to bring that out. And this race for Lantau 70, I also ran for the Outrunners Hong Kong, which is the LGBTQ runners group, because I thought, we need more representation in the community, and I thought maybe with these little tiny details like glitter or nails, I can, and that's me as well, so why not?
Yeah, fantastic. Really out and proud. It's great to see. One of my daughters is gay as well.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think it's very important in the running community to have some type of representation. I don't know if I can speak for that yet, but it's just my way of contributing. That's all. That's how I see it. Glitter and nails for me is a way of contributing and showing my queerness on the trails. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it must also make you feel like you're there for a party, and do you find it makes you in a bit less of a serious mood than you might otherwise be, or?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely more of it's more of fun adventure rather than take a little bit that seriousness away from the race. Just enjoy it and have fun with it. We're here to enjoy the trails.
Yeah, well, it seems like you've been having a lot of fun on the trails this season, and I look forward to seeing how the weekend goes for you. I'm sure that you'll enjoy it no matter what happens.
Yes, I will go with an
Yeah.
open mind. Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to be asked that I haven't asked today?
Mm, well, not really. I think we cover everything. I think one of the missing parts was the joint dynamics team gone running.
Oh yeah, I did tell you I was going to ask about that. Yeah. So how long have you been with them, and how do you think that's contributed to your success?
I joined the Gone Running Joint Dynamics team in December. One of the reasons, Luis, the other Mexican guy, he's the captain. He had been already kind of asking me for a while, but I didn't want to commit because I'm traveling a lot. And something I like about the team was like they told me, just come as you are, just don't change anything about what you're doing, and that's what we value about you, your uniqueness. And yeah, so I joined in December, and since then I joined the trainings with them. Strength training definitely something that I didn't do before, and that's what I do with the team. But it's also the support of the other top runners that you have, and the opportunities I have to learn from them. And every single session I take some time to learn from Nikki, from Chang, from Manyi and Raya, and everyone there is just there to support each other. So I think that's one of the greatest contributions to my training.
Yeah, and I know Nikki directly helped you during the race with her wisdom at the Lantau 70 as well. So
Yeah, she did.
it's good to see actual physical support as well. And I noticed at the end of the Five Peaks race, you said that you were going to be staying behind until Xi'an finished, because I know she was supporting you during the Lantau 17. So it's good to hear that you give back to the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I would love to give back more. So I really would love to contribute more to the community somehow. So I'm still working on that. I have some plans on some projects. So yeah.
It would be good to hear about that in the future as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks very much for your time, Kose. I've got other things I'd like to ask you, but I don't want to keep you too long from your doing more exciting things in Japan before your race. And I wish you the best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny, for your time and the invite. I really loved speaking with you. Okay.
Yeah. Chat to you again soon, I hope.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Hi, Michael. Welcome back to the Track Podcast.
Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. A little bit, body is getting a little bit creaking with the advent of summer and increase in training load, but hanging in there.
Yeah, it's been very, very hot recently. It came quickly. All of a sudden, it was like super humid, super hot, and it doesn't seem to be going back to the cool days anymore. Seems summer's here.
But somebody told me on the ferry this evening that it's going to be cool at the weekend, which I'm very excited about.
Okay. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take anything.
That probably means it's going to be raining though.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that. I saw that too. Yeah.
So you heard my interview with Kose. He's an impressive guy, right?
Amazing. Yeah, I hadn't really heard of him at all. And I seen pictures of him. When I saw the picture, he said, "Oh yeah, I recognized him a little bit from some things I've seen and such." But just hearing his story and how he's become such a great both trail and road runner in such little time running seriously is massively impressive, and to be honest, quite envious to see. Either I'm not working hard enough, or I just don't have some of that natural ability. But it's amazing to see you can run a 2:30 marathon and then also win Lantau 70 against some very strong runners. So amazing guy.
Yeah, and I think that it's very inspiring that he's being, openness about problems he's had in his life and and his sexuality, which I'm sure is going to, inspire a lot of people. And he's even honest about not complying with his coach's training plan all the time. and things
Yeah,
like that. That's quite refreshing.
yeah. I was thinking, do I hit 80% of my coaches? I'm probably less, to be honest. And I think it sounded like he does 80%, but I think the 20% he doesn't do, he does more than what he's supposed to do. So it's not like he's skipping ones where I'm probably 80% of what my coach does. And that 20%, I'm just skipping them or not doing them. So I think he's on the other end of that spectrum of doing maybe too much, but I guess it's good to be young and fast.
Yep, yep. And the funny thing is that he said the Five Peaks race. I saw him and did some mini interviews. I don't know if you saw on Instagram for track, and he said he was taking a rest after the King of the Hills, and then he didn't mention that he was going to Japan for the Fiji race, which is his A race. But not only that, after he gets back from Japan, he's going to Rinjani.
Yeah. Rinjani's in 2 weeks, right? It's 2 weeks from this weekend, right? So it's 2 weeks later he's doing Rinjani.
Yeah, yeah.
The 100-miler or the 100K, or do you know
I
which
don't
distance?
know actually. I can't remember what he said, but
Yeah. Hopefully it's not the 100-miler.
yeah, he said it was going to be more of a hike, but I don't think he's once he smells that competition, he's going to be going for it
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I think he's trying to win every race he does these days. So good on him.
Yeah, well, I hope it's one of the shorter ones, so that
Yeah.
he can have a bit of a rest.
Yeah. They're all tough there, though. But yeah, so the Fuji, he's doing the 70K, right? So yeah, there's the 100-miler there, 70K, and you just were telling me there's a 40K now
Yeah,
also.
so the World Trail Majors have a long distance and a short distance, and they've got, I think it's called Azumi or something. It's a 40K run for the World Trail Majors short, and the 70K is not part of the World Trail Majors, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a very popular race, obviously, there in Japan and getting a lot of global exposure. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does. I'll be
Yeah,
watching.
have you done a race yourself?
No, I crewed Meg Sterling.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Was it only a year ago? I think it was a year ago or
No,
two
I
years.
think it
Two
was
years ago?
at least 2 years
Yeah, two
ago.
years. Yeah, 2 years ago. I crewed Meg there, so I got to kind of see parts of the course and so forth, and understood what it's about, and all. So it's a great race. It's definitely one I'd like to do. It's hard to get into the 100-miler. It's actually a lottery, and it's hard to get into. So I tried
Yeah.
before a couple times, but never got in. So that's definitely on the list to try to do sometime in the future.
Yeah, one thing that puts me off is that poles are not allowed.
Mm, mm,
But
mm.
I'm quite a big fan of poles, and because
Yeah.
I've had knee issues and everything, then kind of weaning off them is going to be hard. But I can work on that for the next few years.
Well, or do the 70K, right? Like the 70K is maybe more feasible than doing 100 miles with no poles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But the 70K, if I remember, there's a couple really tough and steep climbs on the second half of the 100-milers, and that's the same route the 70K does. So I think the 70K does the tougher sections of the 100-mile race, if I remember correctly. So it's a tough race with a bit of elevation.
Mm-mm. Yeah, well, that won't phase Kose since he won the Nine Dragons 50K, which has got some punchy elevation as well.
Yeah, and Lantau 70, which got the two big peaks.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in first place at the first checkpoint. Which had quite a big lead at that point, so he obviously is quite good on the steep hills as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's amazing. Amazing guy.
Yeah. The other thing that struck me speaking to him is that I think it's really great that he feels comfortable being himself in the trail running community in Hong Kong, and I find that too actually that being quirky is somewhat normal. So
Yeah.
I feel comfortable being quirky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's neat too. And I think, yeah, everyone's kind of got their own style and story. And, there's a lot of domestic helpers. There's obviously people who are much older. There's some young ones. There's obviously, he's homosexual, which is good, being able to be open about that and such out there. I think everyone's very open and accepting of everyone in the trail running space. So I've noticed it's just a big family, right? So I don't think anyone's going to judge anyone on something that's a little bit different and so forth. And he's obviously running with a lot of joy and passion, and I think that's addicting as well. So it's great to see. Yeah, again, like I said, I haven't really ever seen him out there running, but I can't wait to kind of keep an eye on him going forward.
Yeah, and by the way, he mentioned in the podcast that he was training with Yuri in Japan. That's a legendary Japanese female runner, Yuri Yoshizumi, who was the Nine Dragons 50 champion this year for the second time. She's obviously a very tough cookie. She's very petite, like she's only about half of Kobe's size. I've got a photo of the two of them together that I'll put into the podcast.
Oh, nice. So how tall is he? How tall is he? Is he he's quite tall?
He's over 6 foot. He's got very long legs.
Okay. Do we know his longest race he's done? Like longest distance?
I think he's done a couple of 100Ks, but I can't remember them offhand. Actually, I've got DUV open here. Let me just scroll down. Oh, he did the Trans Lantau. Yeah, he did the Trans Lantau and the Chiang Mai in Thailand as well. Okay,
so both 100Ks?
Yeah, I think it was 120. He finished fourth in the Trans Lantau.
Oh, wow. At the 120. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's another tough course. Yeah.
Yeah, and he probably could have done better if it hadn't been, it was only a month or two after Berlin. So he'd probably only just switched back to trails after doing his marathon training.
Right. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe we should look into some science around doing both road running and trail running and how it helps your trail running.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it does. Jeff Campbell has showed that well, he was already fast before he focused on marathon training one summer, but then I think he got even more unstoppable after he got his 2:30 marathon.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I get 2:30. Go for 3:30 first, and then see what it does.
Yeah, the other thing which I like that Kose said was that he'd rather set goals that are very high and sometimes possibly delusional rather than set them too low, which reminded me of my Nine Dragons experience, which you said you wanted to ask me about on this podcast. So maybe that would be a good segue into that.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about that, but yeah, I know you set out for the Nine Dragons 50-50 with, for you, some maybe very tight cutoffs to be able to achieve it, but I think you did pretty amazing. But if you want to talk a little bit about that experience.
Well, I did my best in terms of, I think the goal of actually finishing the 50-50 under cutoff was kind of delusional, but it's good to put yourself out there and give it a go and see what happens. The reason I say it was delusional is that so the second day the cutoff is 12.5 hours. And I did that race, the virtual race, in 11.5 hours. And so, but I think you really have to be able to do the 50K on its own in under 10 hours, or, roughly speaking, to have a chance of going under 12.5 on the second day when you did over 50 miles the previous day. I don't know what I was thinking that I could perhaps do, that I could do only 10% slower. When I've got, I think actually the Nine Dragons 50 miles is tougher than the Hong Kong 100 this year, with the Hong Kong 100 being shorter. And so to expect to be only 10% slower than my fresh-legged time on the 50K was definitely delusional.
And how much time did it take you to finish the 50 miles? And then how much time did you have between the end of the 50 mile and the start of the 50K?
I finished, I ended up being 15 minutes under the cutoff. It should have been more, but I got lost twice from the last checkpoint to the finish. And then also I took it easy on the last downhill because
I knew I had plenty of time and there was no point smashing my legs any further. But the tight cutoff on the day one was the checkpoint 7, which I forgot the name of that village that's at the bottom of Pat Sen Leng. But the cutoff for that was 2 hours before the final cutoff, and most people will need less than 90 minutes from there. So I had to kind of do a suicidal descent off Pat Sen Leng in the dark, and when it was raining as well, to try and make that cutoff. And I made that cutoff with 1 minute to spare.
Oh, jeez.
That was pretty exciting.
And so then how much time did you have before the start of the 50K?
That started at 7:30 the next day, so I finished at 9:45 p.m.
Okay, so you had about 10 hours, a little less than 10 hours to sleep, eat, recover. Yeah.
When I got back to the hotel, I was staying at the race hotel in Château, and I was like, there's no way I can run tomorrow. And I had a massage. I'd arranged for a masseur to come to my room, and Rima was staying with me as well, and I'd given her a list of things that I'd like her to help me get ready for the morning while I was having my massage. And I said, there's no point, I'm not running tomorrow. And then somehow while I was having my massage, I around to the idea that I should give it a try.
Well, good on you for trying, right? You never know unless you try.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of making that tight cutoff on the first day, and it went as well as I could have expected up until that point, because the weather was kind of cool. It was raining, and a lot of people didn't like the puddles and the mud. There was a lot of mud on Shershan. I don't know if you know this hill that's not far from Kaduri. It's just off the Wilson near Taiwo. And you go up this little hill, and it in the heavy rain it turned into like a giant chocolate pudding. There were like skid marks going up, but I thought that was great fun. I really liked that, and I think it being cooler weather probably was more of a help than the rain was a hindrance.
Cool.
But my feet did get a bit macerated, and I should have stopped and changed into dry socks a bit earlier, which was my mistake. But I thought it was going to rain more because it was forecast to rain in the middle of the day, but then that rain never came. So that's my only regret about that race.
Yeah, well, but it sounds like, you did everything you could, and you got out there the second day. I know a lot of people didn't get out there even the second day, so that's well on you for giving it a go.
Yeah, I did 20K on the second day.
Yeah, there you go. That's 100K for the weekend.
Yeah, well, if you count that as my longest ever run, it was 111 or something kilometers.
Wow,
together,
wow, wow. Well done. And what do you got coming next?
Well, I've signed up for a 100-miler in the UK, which is the South Downs Way. I've never done 100 miles before, so I thought it would be good to start with one that's got less elevation than Hong Kong, which is good and bad, because obviously that makes it a bit shorter time-wise, but you need to be doing long-distance running without much hiking in Hong Kong summer as training, which is quite hard to achieve without doing a lot of road running. So I've been doing quite a bit of road running lately, and even concrete paths like catchwaters and trails, which are not actually trails but are concrete paths, like on the Hong Kong Trail.
Right.
It's not my preferred way of exercising, but I'm getting used to it now.
And when's that race?
June 13th.
Okay, not too far away.
Yeah, stepping into peak volume now.
7 weeks, yeah? About 7 weeks from this weekend, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, very good, very good.
So it should be exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm hoping the cutoffs will be a bit more generous over there, but it's still 30 hours, which is can't slack off too much.
That's tough for 100 miles. How much elevation?
It's got 3,000 something,
But
which
still,
it's about a third of what Hong Kong races have.
yeah, it's still, you're still having to do quite a bit. That's tough. That's a good challenge.
Yeah, yeah. It's hopefully it's not as delusional as my last challenge.
Well, all these challenges have some form of delusion in them. So as we learn,
Right.
set your goals high.
Yeah, and it's rolling hills, and so it's quite runnable. Like for fast runners, they call it a fast course. It's not going to be a fast course for
Right,
me, but
right. It sounds another piece of advice we got. You need a mantra as well, it sounds like, for this race.
yeah, yeah. I like some of Kose's mantras. Have you used mantras?
I've had things like that, but I've never been able to successfully apply it during a race. My mind just tends to be all over the place during races. I get too locked into the little things that you need to do to execute a race that I kind of lose sight of the bigger thing. So I've never been able to successfully apply one like during a race or anything. How about
Well,
you?
sounds like something to work on.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
but
Maybe I learned a lot from him, so I think there's a lot of things I need to start doing better. Yeah.
yeah, I haven't used a mantra like that, but I have. I picked up one tip from Esther Chillag once. So she once did a talk that I went to at Gone Running, and it said that she used spirit animals, and I think she had for a particular race, like she'll be a lion or a butterfly. So the butterfly is like floating above the trails, and obviously not having much foot contact time. Um, and anyway, there was one race last year, which I think this shirt is it's the Action Asia Lantau 50. I did the half, and I wasn't in very good shape when I showed up because that was a week where I tripped in the street and scuffed my knees.
Hmm.
And I was only just able to run comfortably on the day of the race. Like the previous day, I was like, I'm not sure I can run. But I thought I'd rock up and see how I felt. But and I also had a really bad cold. And the race starts with the climb up on the cable car stairs. And I was
Yeah.
just grinding up that hill. And I was thinking, God, I've got to do something about my mindset to get something positive out of this race. Because if I've just got my head down thinking, oh, my knees are sore and I've got a cold, and it's not going to be a fun day out. So they're like, oh yeah, Esther uses spirit animals. I need a spirit animal. Thinking about what's the most appropriate spirit animal for going up these stairs, and I thought, oh, okay, salmon are good at flowing up
That's what I was gonna
waterfalls.
say. Salmon. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Upstream.
so I was like, I was kind of imagining salmon jumping up waterfalls, going up those stairs, and that made me laugh and it cheered me up, and then whenever I thought about it during the race, it just made me laugh that I was going to be hopping up these stairs like a salmon. Uh,
Hey, you got to the finish, right? So it must have done something.
yeah, I actually felt really good in the second half of that one. I mean, it was only 27K, but yeah, I felt better than in the first half. So
There
I'll
you
take
go.
that as a win for the
There you
salmon.
go. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, you got to think about that for 100 miles in June. So lock
I
in.
think I might have a different spirit animal for that one.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you get desperate.
Yeah. And what do you have coming up, Michael?
I will not this weekend, but next weekend. So May 1st, I'm going to do the 50 mile at the hardcore in the Philippines. So there's a hardcore 100 race, 100-mile race, which is a pretty tough race, but I'm not in the mental space or probably physical space to do a 100 miler, especially that one. And especially since it starts like at midnight or 10 p.m. or something. So we'll do the 50 mile, which still starts at 9 p.m., but it's only running through one night. So it's a little bit more manageable. So we'll do that. And then, go back to triathlon and do a half Ironman in June in the Philippines as well. And then yeah, nothing planned after that. Probably just enjoy training in the heat for a little while, and then see what comes next.
Yeah, so you don't have, it doesn't sound like you have any crazy challenges, you don't have any 200 milers this summer?
Not this summer. I mean, technically, I'm signed up for the Triple Crown 200 miles in 2027. I do have slots in them already. I was going to do it last year, and I deferred it 2 years, so I do have it actually paid for. But we'll see if we try that again or not. But yeah. So for now, it's just try to enjoy being out there a bit.
Yeah, well, you should try it again because you did get close to finishing all three. Apart from you had COVID for the third one, which
Yeah.
wasn't exactly planned.
No, they still did 130K with COVID, so should get something for that, but got a big DNF. In my mind, I do. I'm just kind of not in the headspace to run through 3 nights these days. So, but it is a more relaxed type of race than things like Four Trails or even some of the 100 miles here in Asia. So the 200 miles, you can try to plan 2-3 hours of sleep a night, and you can try to, if you do, especially if you do it with a crew, it's a little bit more relaxed and manageable, even though it's 200 miles. So yeah, we'll see. It's still over a year away. So for now, next weekend, go to the Philippines and enjoy that.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a good race. I think Nikki and Chang have done that before, and Will Hayward as well.
Yeah, they did the 100 miler, I know. So
Yeah,
yeah, the 50 miler, it seems still much more manageable than the 100.
yeah, because the 100 has a tight cutoff as well, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not not many finishes each year.
Yeah, the 50 is 22 hours, but it's a lot of elevation, a lot of it's like all trail, right? So there's no like road or anything like that. And it's like in the middle of nowhere. In fact, it's one of the few races where you have an option to buy insurance if they have to come rescue you. So, they have like rescue insurance that you can buy so that it's cheaper if you have to get rescued. So I'm going with the no insurance. So if I have to get rescued, it's going to be costly. So kind of gives you, I think if you buy insurance to, come bail me out in the middle of the mountains, that's probably not maybe a good thing to have in the back of your mind. So I'm going no insurance for the rescue.
Well, you can actually get insurance with ITRA that's very cheap.
Yeah. No, I have
It's
health insurance. This is like special rescue insurance that the organizers will do to come get you out of, because you're
okay.
not by any
Yeah.
roads. You're in the middle of the mountains, and you could be anywhere, right? So they may have to come send like 3 people up to try to find you and get you out, and
Well,
things like
you're
that.
quite tall, so your head will stick above some of the bushes, hopefully.
Yeah, it should be okay. I think I'll be okay. It's a well-marked course, I've been told.
All right, good. All right, Michael, I'll let you go. Thanks a lot for your time, and look
Yeah,
forward to seeing you sometime soon.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.